I had a good summer. I was busy. I started skiing actually almost right after the season, just a nice spring ski camp, and I was in New Zealand, Chile, and yeah, now I'm here for 5 days, so it's been really good. Yeah, I made some new friends. um, no, I had a great summer. I spent some time in Europe. I didn't have a big vacation, but just some days here and there, and I had good conditioning training as well, and spent some time in France, and yeah. Sometimes my feeling is really good, and today was a really nice day. The race hill is in like really good condition, so it was super fun to ski. Sometimes I'm actually like a bit nervous and I'm not consistent, so if I feel like good and loose, then it can be really good. But if I'm feeling a little bit tight, then sometimes it's not so good. My first day in Europe training, I almost crashed very hard. And I was really tight that day, and then I thought, uh-oh, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
But you are.
Maybe I'm close, yeah. Yeah, in Chile we had sort of the focus on speed, and we were there for about 2 weeks, and it was really good. For me, just being on the long skis at all is it's such a good opportunity, and I'm learning so much. So I'm excited about actually every event this year, which is a good thing. Yeah, but probably not this year. Actually, I'm not quite ready. It's a very difficult schedule, and especially when the Olympics come in February, I don't want to be totally exhausted. So I will pick some speed races, but like we're planning Lake Louise first, and then maybe some of the races when we first come back to Europe in December. But I'm not 100% sure. But I feel more and more comfortable, so I'm getting to a point where maybe I can do every race. But yeah, we'll see. Actually, maybe the newest thing, and it started last year. I started to speak with a mental coach, and that was really the first time I talked to somebody actually like looking for some help, because I was really nervous and I felt a lot of pressure for all of the races last year. So yeah, I started to speak with her, and just to remember like how much I love the sport, and sometimes it's not only about winning, but it's also kind of going back to my main ideas that I want to be a really good skier, and it's if I win but I feel that I'm skiing not so good, then I don't feel satisfied. So going back to those ideas, and then I started to feel better. Actually, I think maybe the media started to, or the media and like my fans started to expect the same things that I expect. Normally, the years before, I always thought that I could do better than I think what everybody else expected from me. And then last year, people were talking like about the record for the slalom wins and all of these things, and it was the first time where I thought, oh, I think they expect too much from me. And that little switch, I had to take some time to really get used to that. Now I feel like I don't care so much, and I can like talk a little more free, like ask me anything, and I think I have a good way to say it it's honest, but it's not, it doesn't make me more nervous or something.
That's nice. So she helped you already?
She helped me a lot, and actually she's a friend that I've known her for a long time, so she knows me since I started with the World Cup, and she knows how I think, so it's really good to kind of remember that.
Sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
One more thing, but you can also say no if you don't like to talk about that. Lindsay wants to race against the boys. What's your opinion about that?
I think that it's already had a lot of publicity, especially in the U.S., and especially this year with the Olympics, people are paying attention more to ski racing, and that for the sport, it's actually probably a good thing, because like in Europe, ski racing is very big, but in the U.S. it's maybe not so popular, and just to have this kind of news every day, it's actually sort of everywhere, which is pretty cool for the sport, because people are starting to watch and listen to that. I think there's a lot of logistics that have to be figured out. I know that I'm sure FIS is doing everything they can to make sure that it's all fair, because the idea to sort of, like you say, break that boundary, it's happening in a lot of sports right now, and just recently the movie came out about Uh, the tennis players. Who was it?
McEnroe.
Yeah. And it was, it's a hot topic right now, especially in the U.S. So it's sort of cool to keep ski racing going with that topic and keep it up to date. But there's a lot of logistics, and I certainly don't want to be the one to figure out how that can work. But it could be cool, and yeah, we'll see. And not right now. If they were to say like, yeah, we have an extra race, sort of an exhibition race, where 15 men or 15 women or 20 something can all come, and we just basically put the numbers in a hat and we just draw, and it's just a fun race. It doesn't count for World Cup points. Then I think it would be really fun. I always love to train with the men. I love the whole thing, but I think it's difficult to say how to race one World Cup race and how you could if you get points for that or not, and then if you don't get points, then it's not fair for you. But if you do get points, it's not fair for everyone else. So how do you make that work? I don't know. But it's an interesting question. And I think the basic idea is it's really cool because the sport is continuing to evolve. It wasn't, Beaver Creek was like incredible for me personally, but actually the Olympics is just huge. And there's nothing that compared to that for the media or the publicity or sponsors. It's just when the Olympics happen, it's just unbelievable. And I think nothing can compare for that. Yeah, it's so good to come here. Soelden, before the races, you can train on the hill, and when it's good conditions, it's such a good feeling to go to the race and feel like, yeah, I know what it will feel like. And also, I've spent a lot of time in this valley now, and since 6 or maybe almost 7 years, so I feel familiar with it, and it's a little bit more like home each year, so I'm comfortable, and that's also really nice.